ladies and gentlemen, I am back once again with the spoiler review for Spider-Man Far From Home. I gave you guys a general taste of it the other day with the spoiler-free review, but today I'm going to get into it. I'm going to review I'm going to basically tell you everything that happens in the film and what to look into, and I'm going to give you some little things about it later on. So I'm going to jump right into it, and we're going to get to it. The movie begins with Nick Fury and Maria Hill finding Mysterio fighting some sort of monster in Mexico, which is the same thing as the Avengers Endgame had the little extra scenes added on to come back to theaters with a re-release. And we immediately head into the credits and the title cards and stuff, and then we run into they had a tribute to Tony. Chris Evans is Captain America and Black Widow and Vision, and they showed him with Whitney Houston's "And I Will Always Love You" playing in the background, which was a very funny way to address the deaths of a few characters in Endgame. Yeah, we're in all the spoilers now. And they also soon after went into it. He's with Peter being Spider-Man at Aunt May's new event, and they seem to have good energy, and she doesn't hold any ill will towards him after she found out that he was Spider-Man. They seem to be 100% good with that. And their subplot in this situation now is that Aunt May is interested, Aunt May and Happy Hogan, Tony Stark's bodyguard, were interested in each other romantically, which played a little bit of a role in this film. It's not a big deal at all, so we're not really going to talk much about it. And
sure these guys didn't forget their keys.
Fury, Happy tells Peter pretty much that Fury's looking for him. He wants to talk with him. He wants to do some stuff with him. So Peter's like, nah, I'm gonna go on my trip. I'm gonna be happy with my friends. I'm gonna tell MJ that I care for her and all this and that. And he's like, I just want to be a normal guy on a normal trip to Venice overseas. I just want to be that guy. That's what he wanted to. That was what Peter wanted to be. And they go to Venice, and they get attacked. The class gets attacked. And then Peter's trying to protect the city from damage, because the Sokovia Accords still are in play. But I think that actually is unimportant now. Was the biggest issue a few films ago in Civil War. But the Sokovia Accords obviously don't matter anymore in the MCU. And then Peter meets Fury inside of his hotel room. They talk, and they go around a little bit. Peter goes and he meets all Hill and all the people working with Fury and them. And then they show, Fury proceeds to give the Edith glasses, so to speak, which is the technology that Tony is giving him in the event of his death. It's a use of an acronym, and pretty much they get acquainted with each other, and Peter begins to take a liking to Mysterio, Beck, however you want to call him. He takes a liking to him, and they get close. Peter gives the glasses to Beck, saying he should be the next Iron Man, or the next main hero like that of the sort. And also another subplot is the classmate that I forgot his name. He's that unimportant. that is trying to take MJ from Peter. And he uses the Edith glasses and almost kills himself, and he kills the guy and his friends on the school bus. And pretty much they go to the opera when Fury directs the entire school trip away from Venice. And
I can take care of myself.
Peter ends up leaving that to go fight with Mysterio and all the other guys to try to protect the city from being extinct. So
Mom used to make those
MJ catches him going out
a long time.
and is like, oh, Peter's
I'll
leaving.
check it out.
Everybody else is starting to leave. I'm gonna go with them.
Guy.
And they eventually encounter the monster,
Should be able to spot the next
and
tower from up there.
they have a big fight. And a piece of equipment gets lost in the midst of that fight, and then it turns out that this equipment is actually a piece of a projector used in the simulation at the beginning of Captain America Civil War that Tony Stark used to simulate his last meeting with his parents, which will come back in handy in a few moments. And then at this point, Peter realizes when he is about to tell MJ how he really feels about her, because he asks her if they could go out and talk for a moment. So they go out and they talk, and she shows him the thing because she reveals that she believes he's Spider-Man. And then he eventually confirms this, and then when he finds and accidentally activates this piece of equipment, he finds that it's revealed now that Mysterio is a fake, and he's not the hero. It's a fabricated event to project himself as a hero, but Mysterio himself is not actually real.
Wonder how many of these are scattered around the city.
And Beck sees this later on and finds out that Peter knows what he is, and creates a projection and just beats him down.
Still there? Got a robbery a few
And
blocks
gets him
away.
ran over
Spider Cop's on it. Park man.
by a train.
Oh, cop.
And he's plotting to kill MJ, Ned, and Ned's girlfriend in this film. And then Happy finds Peter in the Netherlands
Hey, fellas.
and takes him back to England, and it helps him create a new suit using the technology that Iron Man has in his jet. And then the final battle ensues. There's a bunch of fighting. Peter has to overcome the simulation, which looks incredibly real to him and the people in there. And so he defeats Mysterio. Mysterio tries to pull some trickery to kill Peter, which doesn't work. And then he uses the ricochet from the bullets, kills Mysterio. The class goes home, and the biggest indicator for Peter to defeat Mysterio here, which is almost undefeatable in the scenario, as his therapy scenario, is to use his spider sense, or in the movie it's referred to as the Peter Tingle, which was the inside joke I referred to the other day. And the class pretty much goes home. Peter and MJ are talking about going on a date. So the movie ends with Peter and MJ going on a date. Now, being a Marvel film, this has end credit scenes, and when we get to the end credits, we come to the end of the date where Peter's finally dropping MJ off. She doesn't really want to do the web swinging thing anymore. And it's actually on the green screen in front of them, on the big chopper. The Daily Bugle comes on and says, oh, we have some final words from Beck, showing what he had to say towards the end. And he was saying that Spider-Man attacked him He's saying he was going to be the new Iron Man, which was crazy out of left field. And then he reveals Peter's name to the public.
Octavius is left for the day.
Well, not he doesn't reveal Peter's name to the public, because the Daily Bugle then comes on. So Spider-Man is already viewed as a villain now due to Beck's revelation, because they don't know that Beck actually fabricated the entire event and tried to kill everyone in London. And it then comes out right after that J. Jonah Jameson returned. J.K. Simmons returned as J. Jonah Jameson, and he reveals the clip saying that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And that's where Spider-Man's arc in this film concludes so far. And this is a big revelation. I'm gonna talk about it now, but actually I'm gonna just hit the last end credits part. So the very end of the credits, they have Nick Fury come out, and Nick Fury is shown to not be the Nick Fury we knew this entire time, and was actually a Skrull in disguise as Nick Fury this entire time. It was Talos from Captain Marvel earlier this year, and it turns out that Nick Fury has been on vacation, quote unquote, for the last however many years. I've watched a few videos, and it seems like Nick Fury hasn't really been Nick Fury, or we haven't seen our Nick Fury since I'd say maybe 2014's The Winter Soldier, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So it's little details like that which show what had happened in the last however many years. And then we have Nick Fury coming out of retirement to perhaps put the new Avengers together for the next phase of the MCU. And now that concludes the entire film, and then now we're activating the new phase of MCU after this, which should be either the Black Widow film, the Black Widow film should be next, but the MCU doesn't really have a guaranteed path from here on out. They didn't really have but the third movie that was this year has concluded, so we won't have any MCU films until 2020. And it's looking like Spider-Man, his arc is gonna change drastically. It's gonna be in a very different spot from where I expected, at least. And we're headed to because it's gonna become the new leader of Avengers. Because this film of Spider-Man was gonna be about Spider-Man stepping up to the plate and claiming the role of the new Iron Man, or the new leader of the Avengers. And with him being public enemy number one around the world, that's not really going to be the best. That's not going to really be an option for him now. And we're going to be looking more into that later on. I'm going to make another video eventually, but this has been the spoiler review of Spider-Man Far From Home with spoilers. And I'm going to catch you guys later.